I'm Matthew Gray, Director of the Australian National University Centre for Social Policy Research. I'm delighted to be at the CESSDA 50th Anniversary Conference and Celebration. CESSDA does a wonderful job and I've learned a lot from everybody who's a member of CESSDA and I'm learning a lot at the conference. I'm here at the conference to talk about how data can be used in public policy and trying to bridge the gap between data, research, evidence and public policy and the role that archives play. Archives play an important role. The use of evidence and data in public policy depends both on the supply of data and quality data and the demand for data. And the demand is coming from the political process, politicians, civil servants, public servants. Archives play a critical role around the supply of data, and particularly quality data. We live in a world of growing abundance of data, and much of that data is of variable quality, or we're not too sure about the quality, and archives have a critical role in providing quality data. Archives also play a role around raising standards, data management, propagating about better data management practices, and so they play a really important role. And also about making sure the data that's provided through archives is of a certain quality, which means that people can rely upon it. In terms of the demand side, that's much trickier for archives. And archives can play a role though, and they can play a role through education, communication, and hopefully by making more quality data available, the supply will increase demand. But ultimately, it's going to depend on the political process. There's some good examples from Australia. Australia has recently introduced a ban on children under the age of 16 using social media. It's been a major policy change, and it's one which is attracting interest around the world. I think the last couple of days, the UK government has announced that it's implementing a similar policy to Australia, and other countries are discussing following suit. That policy change was built upon research and evidence and data that showed over time, based on high quality scientific surveys and analysis, which shows that the harmful effects of social media use on children outweigh the positive effects, and so therefore government needs to respond to this problem, which is resulting from emerging technology or changes in the way technology is being used. And it wasn't an easy change, but the evidence was really critical. And while it's too early to tell for sure, the early evidence is that the social media use by children, by young people under 16, is being reduced in Australia. An example though of where we have a lot of evidence and data, but it hasn't resulted in a positive policy, is around tobacco control. So there's a lot of data that shows as taxation on tobacco goes up and the price goes up, consumption has been reduced. And so in Australia they kept increasing the taxes on tobacco, and it's become very expensive. And what has happened is that it's become so expensive that a thriving black market, smuggled illicit tobacco, has arisen, and now it's 80% of tobacco in Australia is illicit tobacco, and smoking rates are starting to go up again. And so this is an example of where having evidence and data didn't result in an effective policy, but the evidence and data is crucial in showing that the policy is failing and that changes need to be made. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who works in archives, who spends their life and their skills documenting data, preserving it, making it available, telling people about it, adding value to the data. The role you play is really critical, and it is really important for making data available for public policy and for creating a better world, and a better society and world. Thank you.